Welcome to Virtual Events Demystified. Advanced Events is here to lead the charge as the masses adopt virtual engagements. So many clients have questions. So we thought, why not do a show and tell? Quick hits as the best explanation out there. We are seeing everything shift virtual right now. And kudos to the groups who are the trailblazers figuring it out as they go along. There has been some amazing progress out there with creative thinking and on-point execution. Some of my favorite ones are where that grassroots at-home videography is supporting the message and actually the urgency of the reaction. It's working in many ways to support the message. There's a hospital on the East Coast that had the president of the company at home in a half-zip shirt conducting a town hall meeting with thousands of his employees watching. That one even had me feeling like we were really in this together and I don't even work for the company. But I tuned in for the entire message and I felt like a foot soldier at the end. So all in all, the modality, the setting, the content, and the engagement are all critical components that help support or sabotage your message. Today we're here with Melissa Skipworth. Melissa's been working in the event production industry since she was 18. Now back then she didn't know it was going to be a career. And she's had over 18 years experience in designing, planning, and executing events for her customers. She absolutely has a true passion for live events. And Melissa's been a trusted partner to Advanced Events for quite some time. So welcome, Melissa. I am curious, what do you think about the state of businesses flooding to video streaming and virtual engagements?
You know, Rachel, that's a great question. I'm seeing some of the pitfalls where organizers are forgetting to create the sense of urgency required to engage the audience. The topic may be timely, but once the production starts, content isn't carrying the same message. The development of the online content deserves the same attention as the in-person pre-conference development would have received. The attendees aren't held captive in a room, so it's a lot easier for them to leave or decide to go watch another webinar. So your delivery needs to be spot on to keep the audience engaged and keep them at your virtual event.
Absolutely. So do you have some examples that you've seen recently?
Yeah, actually, I do have some examples. I was really excited about this industry-related webcast on technologies and what other people are doing. And it was really disappointing because it seems very thrown together, and they used really expensive, examples of stuff that had been used in the live event space that doesn't necessarily translate into virtual. It might be great for a hybrid event, something you could do live with a virtual aspect to the event, but it wasn't something that would work in the virtual space. So that I felt was really disappointing because it was an hour long and they advertised to a lot of very experienced users. So yeah, I could come with maybe my own ideas of how to use these technologies in the virtual event space, but coming from an industry leader, something that was educational, I didn't take that away. Whereas one of my colleagues and peers in the industry has been putting on webinars that are very technical producer based, and you really hear from him from the technical producer mindset, which really keeps your head in the game, and that's what I'm looking for when looking to learn more and when I'm doing research and why those things are important to me as a user coming to a virtual event to learn about virtual events.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned that it was thrown together. And that's something that we talk about from a content perspective, that the content really is king. What are some telltale signs that it was thrown together that you were observing?
Some telltale signs was they were broadcasting a very high-res video. So when they were showing the video examples on screen, it was very choppy and not smooth. So you got a lot of negative feedback in the comment section saying, why is this choppy? Is this always going to look like this? Where you really need to dive into the fundamentals of your video. What is your resolution? What is the resolution or max resolution that the platform you're using can output? Because even things like Facebook Live will let you upload content in 4K or HD, but it's playing in 720. So you really got to take all of those factors into account when producing something, especially if you want your viewers to have a very good viewing experience. If the video is choppy, you're probably going to lose them a little bit, and they're going to find that to be lag or other things that might make them assume that you don't know what you're doing or that things could have been, produced a little bit better.
Yeah, I would say that's a strong example of where it would feel off. So what's worked well?
I personally like to use Wirecast, especially on even like Zoom or Zoom conferencing, because it lets you patch in your audio and your video feed. It'll also allow you to use your own video switchers and things like that, so you can set up a delay on the video side to match the audio, so there's no delay and you're hearing the audio before the lips are moving, which it's never a pleasant experience, and people catch on to that really fast. So I feel like having those few seconds of delay as an insurance policy is really important. So there definitely are some software like Wirecast and others that are out there that give you the capabilities to do that in your production, having a video switcher, an audio switcher, your technical producer, using the right software to broadcast your message.
Well, absolutely. Well, the software and the people and the platform, right?
Exactly.
They're all relying on one another. So it's interesting. Like, I'm hearing you talk about the different platforms and the tools and tricks that you use. It does seem like everyone is a virtual meetings expert now. And the platforms may say that they're high-touch customer service, or they take care of all the technical side as well. Does that make you crazy? Because I understand the differences, but I can't always explain it effectively.
Well, I think it's very similar to when you have like a general service contractor on a show who wants to take control of everyone's event. They want to do the labor, the audio video, the booth build. And I think we see how they even fail when they try to control everything or take on the entire project without considering, why the client might have an external or another vendor that they prefer to use because of that personalized service that they're going to get. Yes, there's a lot of platforms out there that, yes, can technically maybe manage internally some of the I see them maybe doing well with managing your video content, but that still doesn't take the place of needing a show caller or a technical producer or even a producer on the client side, depending on how intricate your show is, because you're going to need that internal management as well as, the management through the software, those tools that the software can provide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good example. So, how have you guys been evolving services to shepherd more clients onto virtual broadcasts or even hybrid when it's safe to do so?
Yeah, I would say immediately it was a lot of our house of worship clients that needed that immediate need to pivot into the virtual broadcasting or live stream that maybe weren't set up from the beginning. I feel it's kind of almost industry standard these days that you should just already be set up for it. But you know what? Companies learn, they adapt, and I feel that our house of worship clients were the first for us with an immediate need to pivot into, virtual streaming to be able to get their message out to their church members. And we had a couple clients that had an immediate need. One who wanted to do a Facebook live stream. So we went in and we set up the video and the audio, and we set up the delays and the video switcher. So that way their audience has a really good experience viewing on Facebook, whereas another one of our clients wanted to do a drive-through experience where you tune in via radio and can listen in to the church service. So two completely opposite types of platforms or ways to broadcast, but both had a lot of success with the ways they decided to live stream their services on Sunday. I would say that the feedback that they were getting is that they were able to retain 80% of their normal church service and attendance via audio or video live stream.
That's a huge success, and certainly a testament to the strong leadership. And as your client, I've experienced how you guide the way so that long-term vision and decision making is that much smoother. So So kudos to the whole team for that. And it's really that guiding process that I've seen a platform can't offer alone, right? It's software. It's not decision making. It's a tool to make it easier. One of the things that I was just having a conversation with a client on before we jumped on here is coaching our clients to simplify content that's only being delivered on a virtual platform. And we coach to overly simplify and slow down. It's a new reality out there. Speakers are relying on voice emphasis, the art of pause, maybe some gestures to aid complex information being absorbed. It's not just a race to say as much as you can in a short time frame, which is a really hard concept to get across. Well, this was meant to be a quick hit on what we have to offer and spending some time with Melissa. Melissa, in closing, what's your passion project right now that's kept you excited for the evolution of the industry?
So I have a lot of friends that work in entertainment here in Las Vegas, and due to the casino shutting down and closing, a lot of people have been wanting to be able to still perform and get in front of their audience. And yeah, you might be able to do that very easily, Zoom or Facebook Live or live Instagram chat and video and things like that. But when you want to put on a performance, there's still something to having the staging and the lighting and really doing a live stream broadcast well. And so I think those are kind of the projects that I've been looking or leaning towards wanting to do more of and help some of my friends out with, considering the times and that we have a lot of extra free time on our hands these days. So it's a lot of fun. And who doesn't like live music and other forms of entertainment, whether it be impersonation acts, Broadway plays, things like that. I mean, I just think that, we all really miss being able to get out and enjoy ourselves, and, being able to watch something from home is the next best thing, I guess.
Absolutely. And safe, right? Looks like many of you are jumping into the virtual realm soon, and I certainly hope to be part of your journey. If anyone would like to schedule a complimentary video chat session with either Melissa or myself, do not hesitate to contact us at request@advancedevents.net. And thank you for your time, and know that we are here to help produce your virtual results that matter. Thanks.